Nicole Mamdani has a new friend, and he couldn't be happier about him. Check out the pal smiling from ear to ear on social media. Mamdani wrote, "I had the pleasure of meeting with Imam Siraj Waj, one of the nation's foremost Muslim leaders and a pillar of the Bed-Stuy community for nearly half a century. That's certainly one way to describe the man arm in arm with the future mayor. Another way is to say that Wahaj served as a character witness for the mastermind of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, claiming that he was just, well, he was a respected scholar. A longtime defender of convicted terrorists, this imam also raised money for their legal defenses. And no surprise, he's trashed the United States."
You know what this country is? It's a garbage can. It's filthy. Filthy and sick.
Oh, he's sick. Here to discuss New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Congresswoman, one could argue that, look, politicians take photos with everyone. Bloomberg's, been with this guy, and I think Adams, at one point, he campaigned alongside of him. So he's been out and about for a while. So why does this matter now?
Because it's not just him. I mean, the saying, "Show me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are," that is applicable here. Zohran Mamdani has palled around with socialists, with communists. Now this radical extremist imam. This is somebody who is anti-American. This is somebody, as you mentioned, has defended the convicted plotters of the World Trade Center bombing. And he has to come out and actually denounce Hamas. He still has not done that. He did it in a mild way during the debate. But this is a communist sympathizer. He is a terrorist sympathizer. And I will tell you something else. 1993, Zohran was still a baby in diapers in Uganda, Africa. He is only 34 years old. He's only been in this city as a citizen for 7 years. He does not have the experience, he does not have the knowledge to be mayor of the largest city in the nation. And his policies are just downright dangerous. He has called the NYPD the greatest threat to society, to our city, to public safety. He wants to eliminate jails completely. He wants to legalize prostitution. These are radical and destructive policies. I truly believe that the people in New York City do not want this, that they actually don't. And I think millions of immigrants that have fled socialism and communism, like my mother, will be the difference in this election. I think more people need to know what socialism is, and it's incumbent upon people who've experienced it and fled it to actually teach the younger generation about it. Why did Zohran and his family come here if they don't like our values? If they wanted socialism,
to change the
communism,
country. Now, Nicole, Congresswoman, sorry, you're so young, Nicole. Because they want to change the country. Because it's better than where they were, right? It's better than they still don't like it. They want to change the country. They want to totally upend the old system and put in a new system. I'm sure the radical imam wants more of an Islamic way of living, and that's moderate for him. But I don't think most people get that that's kind of what the plan is from the radical side. They don't understand that.
In other words, he's a useful idiot of the radical left, of these extremists that want to bring socialism, communism to this country. And I have to say that, next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. We cannot allow this man to be the mayor. We cannot allow this man to be the mayor next year.
Congresswoman, thank you very much. Great to see you, as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.